everybody, welcome to Cards and Sharps. How you doing? Good, glad to hear it. All right, we are about to unbox a steel wheel F45M. It's the Intrigue, and this one is going to be blue, I believe. All right, they have a sleeve with a inner box here. Try to do this without destroying the box. All right, you get some like some propaganda. This says congratulations on the purchase of your steel wheel knife. It's in the Urban series, it says. All right, and then we got a knife inside some bubble wrap, so well protected. All right, this looks like the steel wheel Intrigue, it says. That is first impression is it is a nice looking eye-catching knife. And I grabbed this one, I ordered this one because from what I could tell from the specs and the picture, it kind of fits in that realm of knives I like to carry. I've shown you on some other videos. I got the CRKT, Rugrail CT, or whatever all them initials are. And then I've got a Kershaw Almar that I carry frequently because I like a thinner knife with that kind of a dagger blade for my carry. And this one has that look to it that looks like it fit right in there in that style I like. And that blue, it's very pretty blue with it's got these little spacers that are blue also, kind of has a nice pop to it. All right, let's look at some of the specs on the steel wheel Intrigue. Overall, we're looking at 7.5 inches with a blade of 3.25, a 3.125 cutting edge, and blade width is going to be 3/4 of an inch, and thickness is 0.12. So it's got a thicker at the back, and it tapers down into a nice thin blade at the down here with the hollow grind drop point. Handle length is going to be 4 1/4, which it looks like and feels like to me about the perfect length on the handle, because it get a nice full purchase on it for my size of hands anyway. We got just under a 1/2 inch thick on the thickness of the handle, so it doesn't feel thick or chunky at all in the hand. The material on the handle is FRN, or fiberglass reinforced nylon. So, and to be honest, that's the same material that is on the Delica, and I'm going to say the Delica feels like a better quality material, and so all FRN is not created equal, I would say. With that being said, it feels nice enough. I mean, it doesn't feel as cheap and plasticky as some other stuff out there, but you can tell it's not a high-end knife at all. It's got a stainless steel liner, and as you can see, it's got about a nice 50% lock up there, so it does lock up nice and tight. There's no play at all in the blade. You can go left or right with it on the pocket clip, but it's going to be tip up only, as it should be. And it does have some drilled relief in there on the frame give you this little weight savings. And speaking of weight, that's another area this does shine. It is only 2.19 ounces, so it is a very lightweight knife, and it feels lightweight, but does not feel overly out of balance. It feels balanced. Some lighter knives will maybe feel a little blade heavy, but this one does not. It feels nice and balanced, and again, that puts it in that fits in the what I like to carry realm. And it's a flipper, which is another thing. If you watch some of my videos, you'll hear me talk about how I like flippers. And I just took this out of the box, so it's not really broke in, so it doesn't quite have that abruptness to the flip, but it's getting better. You can see it's starting to pop out there each time now, fully open. So yeah, it's loosening up nicely. I was going to say you might have to just sit and play with it for a half hour or so, but it looks like it's going to loosen up and be ready to go right now. Centering on the blade is like perfect. Yeah, pretty much for dead center. Down here, up here, it looks like it's leaning, maybe going a little bit to the right, but there's no hold or catching in it, no hang-ups or anything like that. Does not feel, has no spring assist at all to it, so it's all in your flipping. Looks like probably got bronze, excuse me. Looks like it's got bronze washer there in the pivot, so not bad. And nice jimping on the flipper to give you some help when you give it the flip there. And then you got some jimping here on the back. Not too aggressive. It's enough to know you got some, but it's not going to tear up your finger or anything like that. Might could be just a little deeper, but really not too bad. And these knives are going to come in, I believe, somewhere in the $28-30 range, in that area, which that falls in line with some of the other knives I have mentioned, such as the CRKT Ruger LCK, and then the Kershaw Almar. So, which I did not bring those out to compare to this, but we will compare it to the Delica, and there you go. Compared to the Delica, it's very similar length, but of course the Spyderco blade design is a thicker blade. It's going to take up a little more space in your pocket, and it also costs considerably more than the Intrigue does here. But all in all, I like the Intrigue. It's kind of fits in that area which I like for everyday carry. It's not a overly aggressive knife, so you pull it out in the office to open something, it's not going to scare people really, and it's has a nice action to it. Has the right size, right weight that I like carrying in my pocket. And also another thing is, for a knife I tend to carry every day, I'm kind of one of those people that I tend to carry some of the more inexpensive knives, because if I hurt it, oh well, no big deal. And especially when you're at the office and you're not really trying to impress anybody. Now, if I'm going to be in a situation where I'm going to do a gear check, I'm going to pull out, be carrying the bug out or something along that line to impress my buddies a little bit more. But one thing I don't know if I mentioned, the blade steel on this one is D2, which is very nice for your, what I'm going to call a lower end budget type knife, especially compared to the others I have mentioned, the CRKT and the Kershaw. So nice job steel wheel to step up and use a little step up on blade steel there. These are made in China, so as we have discussed and discovered, I don't let that really throw me too much, since so many knives now are made in China, and they do have the ability to kind of vary their products out there. So they do make the cheap crappy knives that you see around, at flea markets and places like that, and then they do have the ability to make some really nice knives, and such as the Kaisers and knives like that, Civivi and those. But I'm going to say, so far, my first look at steel wheel, looks like a pretty nice knife for the money. All right, love to hear your comments, see what you think. Do you have a steel wheel? Have you tried one? Would you own one? And leave some comments there. And if you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and we'll be bringing some more sharp objects soon. All right, that's all I got for now. See you guys next time.